Today we're talking about grocery shopping tips to save money. Stay tuned. A lot of people say that eating healthy is really expensive, but it really doesn't have to be. By following my simple tips and tricks, you can eat healthy on a budget. Let's get started. Number one is menu planning. You don't have to menu plan all 7 days, although that would be ideal. But by menu planning, it doesn't need to be really fancy. You just figure out each night for dinner what you're gonna have. Now for breakfast, I have shakes, so I don't really have to plan in that area. And lunch times are typically leftovers from the night before. And on occasion, I do have something different. But for meals at night, I definitely plan it out. When I first started this, I didn't think it would be that big of a deal. I thought I was sensibly shopping, but I noticed a considerable difference when I did do the menu planning. Then what you do is you simply just write it all down and put it on a list, and don't stray from the list. Make sure you set a weekly budget so that you're not going over the allotted amount and you know how much you're spending. A little tip, you can always put your weekly spending in a jar and just take cash with you. I know it's easier to do debit or MasterCard or whatever you do, but you tend to spend more money using your cards. This way you have your money and you know what you're spending. Next is don't shop hungry. We all know when we go to the grocery store, if you're super hungry, you're bound to get a whole whack of stuff, especially the fun stuff or not the good stuff. I know when I go to the grocery store, if I am hungry, it is game over. Next is shop around different stores. You could also use coupons, but what I like to do is up here in Canada, I go to Superstore where they have an app with rewards, and it's amazing over time how much you can get back. Not a whole lot of grocery stores will give you free food, and this is actually free food. You gain your points and then you can redeem them. It's an easy app, you're not bringing in coupons, and I really love it. You can also go for bulk buying. I know a lot of people go on Costco or they'll do bulk sales. Just a word of caution, one thing about Costco I find is when you go grocery shopping there, I always feel like you go buy $600 worth of stuff and then you still have to go grocery shopping. So if that's you, then maybe don't do it that way. You can shop the Bogos. A lot of stores will have that event. You can see it in the flyers. Look up on the online flyers and just know where you're shopping and know where the products are on sale. Next is shop generic brands. You don't have to buy the super popular brand unless you're absolutely in love with it. But generic is just as good. My only word of caution is some things they will add extra additives or extra sugar, so just make sure you look at the label. You can check out my video on labels up here, but definitely check it out. Next is meal prepping. That will save you money. You won't have to buy those lunches at work. And by meal prepping, you know what you'll have per week. What I used to do, and sometimes still do, is batch cook on Sunday and then batch cook on Wednesday. That way you can set your meals, you know what you're eating, you're less likely to binge on anything, you can keep your diet on track, and it actually saves you a lot of time in cooking, especially for those who don't like to cook. Freeze the extras so you could just pull it out as you go the night before, and that way there's no waste. Next is buy in season. Buy your fruits and veggies in the season. Those tend to be a little cheaper than in the off season. And you can adapt your meals around that. Avoid pre-made items. So the already cut up veggies for you, the stir fry stuff, those will definitely cost a lot more. So scrap the already cut broccoli and buy the head of broccoli. Get the salad, don't get the pre-made salads. It is cheaper. Buy bigger packaging. For example, if you buy the full package of oatmeal, it is a lot cheaper than buying the little individual packs. I know it's convenient, but you can always put it in Ziploc bags. I know here I can find it for $3 or around $3 for the whole huge thing of oatmeal, whereas you're spending $3, $4, $5 for just the mini packs. And the bigger pack goes a long way. Same goes for rice, same goes for anything that you can find that's bulk. You're paying more for the packaging and the convenience of it. Next is make soups with the leftovers. So if you have a roasted chicken and you're used to buying that, grab that, pop it in a pot and make broth out of it. You can make an awesome soup, grab the veggies that are left over from your meals, or that are just sitting in the fridge and you don't know what to do with them, pop them in, make soup. It's awesome. You get that extra meal or two, and of course help you save more money. You can do a few vegetarian meals a week as well. If you're worried about the protein, you can choose things like beans, lentils, chickpeas, that kind of thing, and that will give you the protein, but yet you're still having it at a reduced cost and you don't have to spend so much on meat. Next is reduce the amount of times you actually go to the store. You're more likely to impulse buy. I know when I go shopping, if I go too many times, I'll go, oh, I need a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then you don't have anything to finish off a meal to make for the week. So just have a day that you dedicate. Once a week is enough. And if you must, then just get a few essentials, but stick to the list. And lastly is keep your receipts. That way you can compare prices to the different stores and know where to go, which is cheaper. Yes, it makes it a little bit more time consuming, but at the end of the day, if you really want to save money and go at it gung-ho, then that is my final tip. I hope these are helpful. I hope you can save some money. If you have some tips that I have not mentioned, go below, comment, and let me know. I'd love to hear about them. Click the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. I'd love to have you part of my channel. And click the thumbs up button, and we will see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time. Next, there's thunder.